Welcome back, everyone. I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. I am super pumped about today's install and video. All my previous cars and trucks came either with LEDs or HIDs, so I was pretty bummed when my 19 Tacoma didn't come with either. Now, if you're in the same boat as me and you're looking for an inexpensive way to increase the light output on your 19 Tacoma, or I should say 16 plus Tacoma, this video is for you. Today we'll be installing the Diode SL1 LED headlight bulb. Now the install on this should take less than 10 minutes. I will also go out and shoot some before and after footage just to show you guys the actual light output and the difference between the OEM lights and these. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Also, before we get started, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get going with these things. Now before we get started, let's open the box up and see what's included. A little installation instructions, which, I mean, it's just plug and play, so straightforward. One thing I love about Diode is always the packaging. That looks awesome, so let's open that up. So these bulbs are going to be plug and play. We got the bulb, we got this fatty collar on it, the driver, and just a standard connector. Now these are H11 bulbs, so these should work for the 3rd gen Tacomas, 5th gen 4Runners, and also the Tundras, and a whole slew of other vehicles. Now the reason I decided to go with the diodes over maybe some cheaper alternatives was because these guys are street legal. Also with the color that I wanted, these are 5700K, so it will give a really nice white color. And in the past, I have ran diode products on some other vehicles and it has never let me down. One thing to keep in mind with these LED lights, this cooling fan here will produce noise. So when you hear it, don't be alarmed, it's completely normal. But I will try to catch that on camera as well. So enough talk, let's get these guys installed. Okay everyone, so installation is going to be extremely simple. It's essentially just pulling out the OEM low beam bulb and replacing it with the Diode LED. Essentially, this piece right here will plug into the OEM harness where we unplug the OEM H11 bulb. Your 16 plus Tacoma headlight will have 3 bulbs in it. The first one here is the DRL, high beam, and then low beam. This is the one we're working on. To remove it, all I'm going to do is just twist the bulb counterclockwise and pull it out slowly. Be careful when you're pulling the bulb out, make sure you don't break the tip. Once it's removed, just go ahead and unplug it. Like that. Next up, we're going to go and plug in the Diode one. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the Diode, there is no markings there that let you know which side goes up and down, so you'll just have to kind of plug it in and turn the light on and make sure that the light does come on. If it doesn't come on, we'll just have to go through and switch this up like so. I have a feeling it'll go in like this, so let's give it a shot. So that actually didn't work, so what we'll do is we'll flip this plug. Let's try it again. So that's the right direction there. Okay, now that we know we have it plugged in properly, we'll go in and throw the bulb into the housing. Now, if you look here, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but with the little notches, you've got 1 big one and 2 smaller ones. Essentially, the bulb can only go into the housing one way. So just follow the big notch, slide it in, and then just twist it on. Now that the bulb is back in, what you'll want to do is just take your driver, which is this piece here, and just attach it to the chassis so it's not flopping around. I will try to show you guys, but there is a little plug here that you should be able to zip tie it to. Right here, to the chassis, so that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, next up we'll go through and do the same thing on the passenger side. Toyota is kind enough to leave this provision on the washer fluid tank, so even people with big hands like myself, you'll be able to just reach in, twist, and pull out your OEM bulb. Next, we'll go through and just throw the diode dynamic in. Okay, we got the new diode dynamic LED bulb in. Again, we'll make sure to test it before we install it, just to make sure that we do have it wired up properly. And we do. So now we're good to go to throw this into the housing. One thing to keep in mind, the driver will be loud and that's completely normal. So if you hear that little buzzing sound, don't be alarmed, that's completely normal. Next up, let's take the truck out and show you guys the before and after and just how much of a light improvement we have. For this comparison shot, my camera did actually compensate a little bit for the light difference. However, you can still see a huge difference between the Diode Dynamics SL1 LED lights and the OEM bulbs. The big differences are the diode lights are throwing the light a lot further and a lot wider. The actual light cutoff is a lot prominent, and the color temperature is a lot cooler on the diode lights compared to the OEM ones, which will give you more of a white or bluish light. I hope you guys found this video informative. If you did, make sure to like the video. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel. And until next time, I hope you guys stay healthy and safe.